Hello everyone, welcome to Math Tired Club, where we make all those hard things very, very easy. I hope you're doing well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and also share the videos with your friends if you find them helpful. And don't forget to check other videos in the channel. You might find them really, really helpful. And I hope that you will understand today's lesson, and it will be like a piece of cake for you. So today we're going to talk about linear functions. So linear functions, okay. And the thing that we're going to talk about, I'm going to have two different videos on linear functions. In the first video, I'm going to be introducing different formulas and different formats of writing a linear function, and how to write the equation of a linear function, and how to graph lines. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines, and I'm going to tell you how to write the equation of a line that you know is parallel to another line or it's perpendicular to another line. And I'm going to link it in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out as well. So listen everyone, the very first thing I'm going to talk about is this, that how do I know that I have a linear function? When I have a function in a format of, for example, y is equal to 2x plus 1, or I don't know, 2y plus 3x is equal to 4, or anything that is in this format in which the power of x is 1 and it's in the numerator, it's not located in the denominator, then we know that we have a linear function. And a linear function is going to be about a line that either looks like this, or the other way around, okay? There are some formulas that you need to know about linear functions, and if you know those formulas, talking and writing and graphing linear functions are going to be super duper easy. Trust me and trust the process, okay? The very first thing that I'm going to be introducing is the slope formula. So the slope of a line, as you know, never changes, because a line does not change its direction. It's just going to be going like this, and the slope is never going to change. So if you know 2 points of the line, you would know its slope as well. So the formula for the slope is going to be m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or sometimes we call it rise over the run. By rise, I mean going on the y-axis, and by run, we mean going on the x-axis. So if you have two random points of the graph, you can use this formula to write the slope. I'm going to have examples for all of these. At first, I'm going to introduce you the formulas, and then I'm going to have examples so that you would understand the lesson really, really well. Don't worry about it. So the next formula is y is equal to mx plus b, in which m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. And y-intercept is a point in which x is 0, okay? So this formula is called the slope-intercept formula. This is called the slope-intercept formula. And the name of the formula itself will tell you what it has. It has the slope and it has the y-intercept. So that's why we call it the slope-intercept formula. So as you can see, this is a formula in which y is isolated and the rest of the function is written on the other side. So the next formula that we're going to talk before I move on to the next formula, you have to know, sometimes the students ask me this question, that teacher, how would I know which formula I'm supposed to use? You have to see what given information you have in the question. For example, if in one question I have the y-intercept and I have the slope, which formula is the best formula to be used? This one, the slope-intercept formula. And for example, in one question when I don't know what the slope is and I just have two random points of the graph, or I have the graph itself, which formula would be the best formula to use? Of course, first you have to find the slope and you have to use the slope formula, okay? And after that, you can write the equation of the line using maybe if you have one of the points that you have is the y-intercept, the point has like 0 for its x, maybe you can use this slope-intercept formula or the other one that I'm gonna just write down. The next formula is called point-slope form. Y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1, in which y1 and x1 are the coordinates of a random point. And m, as you can imagine, is presenting the slope. Guys, this formula is the formula that you can use for all cases because it has the slope and it has a random point. I mean, even if they give you the y-intercept is also considered as a point of the graph. So you can use this formula everywhere, okay? The next formula that we're going to talk about is the standard form, in which ax plus by is equal to c. B, and c do not present anything special, not the slope, not anything else. It's just a format of writing the equation, and the name is standard form. Okay. And this is called the point slope formula. Okay, now I'm going to write some examples on the board so that we would know in what question we're supposed to use which of these formulas and how are we supposed to know which formula is going to be useful. Stay tuned. So, ta-da, here we are with the question. So, given that A is 2, 3, B is 0, 5, and C is negative 1 and 4, find the slope of line AB, M of AB. Okay, so in order to do that, first of all, you have to see what you have, okay? You have 2 points, A and B, and you want to find its slope. Which formula will give you the slope by this information, having 2 points and wanting to find the slope? Which one? Of course, the formula for the slope. So the answer to question number 1 is going to be m is equal to y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. And A is 2 and 3, and B is 0 and 5. You might ask yourself that, oh my God, how do I know which one's the first point, which one's the second point? Guys, there are no first and second in like a line. Who's to say which point is the first point and which point is the second point? So teacher, will I get different answers by choosing, for example, A as my first point and B as my second point, or the other way around? No, you will get the exact same answer. So over here, I'm going to be considering B as my second point, and I'm going to be like 5 minus 3 over 0 minus 2, which is going to be 2 over negative 2, and it's going to be negative 1. And if I do the other way around, if I consider point A as my second point, I'm going to have 3 minus 5 over 2 minus 0, which is going to be negative 2 over 2, still negative 1. As you see, you're going to get the same thing. So m of AB is going to be negative 1, and I found the slope. So this is going to be the slope of line AB. After this, the question says, write the equation of line AB. Okay, in order to be able to write the equation of a line, this is a very, very important point. So give me a second. Ta-da, I'm back with this. Please write this down in your notebooks as well. In order to be able to write the equation of any line, you're supposed to have its slope and one of its random points. So now that we want to write the equation of line AB, we already found the slope in the previous part, so we don't need to find that again. And then we need a random point of it, either A or B, okay? If I were to choose A, then I'm supposed to use point slope formula, okay? Because A is not the y-intercept, it's just a random point of the graph, and I can use that. And even if I were to use B, I could have used the point slope formula there too, because point slope formula is the formula that you can use for every case. So it doesn't make any differences. But then here, as I know that B is my y-intercept, the point in which x is 0, it's much easier for me to use the slope-intercept formula and use B. So the slope-intercept formula is y is equal to mx plus b, in which m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So I already found the slope from the previous part. Y is going to be equal to negative x plus, and the point b is 0 and 5. So the y-intercept is going to be 5, and that's going to be my answer written in slope-intercept form. This is writing and leaving my answer in slope-intercept form. But if I wanted to leave it in standard form, I needed to move x and y together, because sometimes, most of the times, the questions ask you to leave your answers in standard form. So I'm going to move x to the other side, and it's going to be y plus x is equal to 5. And that's going to be my last answer left in standard form, okay? Standard form. So let's go and answer the next question. What happened? Okay, let's go back. So, okay. So this is the standard form. So now I'm going to go and answer the last question, graphing line AB, okay? So in order to graph line AB, what I need to do is that. Guys, see, as I said before, a line does not change its slope, okay? So by having two random points of the graph, you can already graph a line, okay? So in this particular question, which I know what A and B is, the only thing I need to know in order to be able to graph it, I'll be back with the coordinate plane. Ta-da! Here I am with the coordinate plane. So in this particular example that I have the points, I have like A and B. The only thing I need to know in order to be able to graph this are the points. So I don't need anything here, okay? So I'm just gonna have the point B, which is 0 and 5, and the point A, which is 2 and 3. And I'm gonna plot the points in form of a line. Okay, and that's going to be my graph. But if the equation of the line was given to me, like for example, imagine that this was given to me, like, I don't know, let's say 2x plus y is equal to 1, okay? If they give me like something like this and they ask me to graph it, it's best first if I isolate y and make it alone, and I'm going to have y is equal to negative 2x plus 1. And then one of the easiest way to graph anything is to have a chart of x and y, and then substitute any two random points for x, like such as, let's say 1, and it's going to be negative 1, and then maybe 0, which is going to be 1, and then you have the 2 points and you can graph them. Or you can use its slope and then go rise over the run thing and then graph that too. For example, if I were to graph this other line on the same coordinate plane, it would have been 1 and negative 1. So let's say negative 1 is here, 1 and negative 1, and 0 and 1. And that was going to be the graph of the line that I have. Okay. So this is going to be the graph of the line that I'm going to have. And it's very, very simple, very, very easy to understand, okay? So there is no need for you to get stressed over lines. Lines are super duper easy. In my next video, which is going to be the continuous form of this one, we are going to talk about parallel and perpendicular line, and we're going to work with that other point C, and I'm going to link it in the description box below. Guys, I hope that you have enjoyed today's lesson and you have learned it, and I wish you all a great day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and don't forget to share the videos with your friends if you find them helpful, and have a great day. Bye.